Hi, AP Chem. So today we're going to talk about AP Chem review. It looks like we have about 9 class meetings left before the AP exam on the 14th. So what I'm going to ask you to do is number 1, make a plan. Number 2, stick to that plan. Number 3, don't avoid the stuff that you found difficult in the past. And everybody's favorite thing, study smarter, not harder. So let's get talking about what we need to do. So as far as I know, information so far is there is the test on May 14th, which is Thursday, on a Thursday. AP Chem is at 2 o'clock. Sorry, physics people. Looks like physics is following AP Chem at 4 o'clock. So some of you have 2 that day. There will be 2 FRQs, a longer FRQ and a shorter FRQ, and time and all of that will be given later. But it looks like the first FRQ, the longer one, is going to be about 25 minutes is what they're going to give you, and 5 minutes to upload the question. The second question is going to be more like a 15-minute question with 5 minutes to load up. So there'll be some more information coming about that. In fact, tonight, I am, there's a online meeting tonight anyway for teachers about updates to the AP exam. So I registered for that webcast, and we'll see what happens. So if I find out anything new, I'll let you guys know. But I'm going to the College Board website. There's a few things in here that I want to bring your attention to. First one, this part right here, it says, like many college level exams, this year's AP exams will be open book and open note. I never had a test in college that was open note, or open book. Very interesting. I'm not sure the like many college level exams, but anyway. So there's a little link here for you to get tips on taking open book or open note exams. I've not looked at it. Feel free to click on it. Might have some good information. It also talks about how you're going to have you're going to be able to take this exam on any device. It says you'll be able to type or upload your responses, or write your responses by hand and then submit a photo. Chances are with chemistry and physics, you'll probably work your problem out on a piece of paper, take a picture and upload it. So what I will tell you down here, and this is a good thing to know, in late April, so I'm guessing within the next couple weeks, they're going to provide AP students and educators with information on how to access the testing system on test day. There'll be video demonstrations so that you can watch a video and figure out how to upload your information and how to access the system. My guess is that's kind of what my video is going to be on tonight. Again, I'll let you know if I find out more information. But that is what we know so far. So as information keeps rolling in, just, try not to panic. They will update you as they figure things out. I think they're still kind of working on it a little bit. All right, next thing is what's on Google Classroom to help you review. So you probably have noticed the past couple days, things have just been, I'm loading things on Google Classroom. What I'm trying to do is organize things in a way that allows you to access it easily. This part right here where it says AP Chemistry Exam Review Material, let's take a look at that. I'm going to exit this and open Google Classroom. And if you take a look at your classwork page, you'll notice I've started dividing things into units. So unit 5 review, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to focus on just this general material right now. Some things that I have posted on Google Classroom for you. First of all, a link to Flynn Prep. You all should have it, but there's a link right here. A link to AP Chemistry College Board updates as they happen. Most of you have done the feedback quiz. I feel like last time I checked, I was missing 4, so I'll let you know if I'm missing yours. So this topic units at a glance, I'm going to kind of open this a little bit. So if you're going through topic 1 or unit 1 and you're trying to figure out, what I need to know for unit 1, if you look right here, there are 8 sort of topics within this unit, And let's say you're going through here and you're like, okay, moles and molar mass, I get that, composition of mixtures. I don't remember anything about photoelectron spectroscopy. That kind of lets you know that maybe if time is limited, what do I need to go back and review? And so you can kind of use that as a checklist of things that maybe you need to know for sure that you need to go back and look at in that unit. So that's for all 7 units kind of posted right there. I posted write this, not that. And there's some general write this, not that. But what I want to draw your attention to is for Unit 1. So let's say you're going through and you're starting to review Unit 1 material, which is from a long time ago. Keeping in mind that this exam is going to be FRQs, you really need to brush up on vocabulary and the verbiage that you want to use as you're answering an FRQ. That's really why I put this on here. I know some of you really kind of struggled with what terminology you use. Do I use the word period when I'm talking about elements, or do I use shell? And so this kind of goes through and it talks about how electrons are in shells, elements are in periods, and kind of getting you to sort of separate out to know which words to use with which circumstances. Again, this is arranged according to units. So as you're studying, for example, Unit 3, there were a lot of things in Unit 3 when it came to intermolecular forces. And that's one of the handouts I gave you. So we spent a lot of time talking about that. Towards the top, there's just kind of general things about not being too messy, making sure that abbreviations are appropriate, all of those things. So I would spend some time and go through that. It's a really good reference. Equations and constant sheets, if you don't have this sitting in front of you, you probably should print this off and maybe make 3 or 4 copies of it. Remember, this is an open note test, so you can use these constant equation sheets and you can have things written on them. You may want to write, this is first order, this is second order reaction equation, half-life is for first order. You can even retype it, rewrite it, do whatever you want so that you've got that right in front of you as you're taking that exam. So I'd have several copies of this and make sure that you have one that has what you want sitting in front of you on test day. AP exam review PowerPoint. So I'm not going to open this. This is a huge PowerPoint. That's just a quick multiple choice questions in the different topics with instant feedback. And so something, that you may want to open up and just sort of go through and see, do I understand this concept? Do I understand this concept? It's arranged a little bit differently than the units are now because it was written a few years ago, but it's a really good PowerPoint with multiple choice questions that lets you go through and kind of just do a quick check of what topics you're comfortable with and which ones you aren't. The other thing I uploaded for you all, and I'm just going to open one of these up. I'm going to go ahead and open up Unit 6, Chapter 6 outline. So as I create notes, when I first started teaching AP Chem, what I did is I went to the textbook and I just kind of outlined it in sort of aligned it with the AP curriculum. So these are my notes. And feel free to go through and take a look at these. There's some good stuff in there with some links to different things. But basically, and I did put a disclaimer on here somewhere. I think I said up here at the top, these note outlines are from 2014. And they contain a few concepts that are no longer tested, but will be a good, quick review read. So if you're looking for just some quick information on, let's say, periodic trends, you can find that note outline and find sort of my bulleted point of referring back to that information. So I thought that might be helpful for you just to sort of organize your own notes maybe. And then I sort of skipped over this AP Classroom, practice FRQs. I went through AP Classroom and I tried to pull up some FRQs that were from units 1 through 7 that I thought might be helpful to look at. These are all FRQs that are public. Some of them may be even things that you saw in your own FRQs earlier this year. I'm working on a grading rubric for this. So when I get that done, I'll post the grading rubric with this. But after you're done reviewing all 7 units, this might be a really good way to just sit down and say, can I go through and work through an entire FRQ? Like I said, there are several FRQs here for you to work through. That might be something I put off and do towards the end of my review process. All right, on that note, let's go back and take a look at your, and I'll upload this PowerPoint so you all have it. But those are general materials, AP Chem review materials. And if I find anything else that I think will be helpful, I'll make sure I'm posted in there. Materials to review by unit. Now here's where we get into the quizzes that remain. So I'm going to specifically talk about Unit 1 and quiz number 24, but the rest of the units will be arranged pretty similar. I'm going to try to stay consistent, and quiz number 24 is going to be based on just your review for Unit 1. So some things that you can use for Unit 1. Again, I put up the AP College Board review videos. I have to say, I think that these are great. I've been watching them, maybe not all the way through, but most of the way through. The pros and cons. Pros, very thorough, very organized. It's got, practice questions, practice FRQs. Con, time consuming. So you have to really think about, what's going on with, other things that you have to do. And do I have the time to commit to watching all of these videos? I'll be honest, if you don't go through, like for Unit 1, let's say you really don't remember mass spectrometry, then if I only have time to watch one video, I would probably sit down and watch that video and not the second one. The second one is on electron configuration and periodic trends. But again, you see spectroscopy show up here. And so maybe you just need to watch that section. As you can see, they're getting through these videos very quickly. The ones that are down towards the bottom that say live, those are the ones that, and in fact, this one is going on right now. Oh no, this one right here. Yeah, this one is going on right now. But you can actually tune in live if you want to and listen to these. But I actually prefer, I think, just listening to them later so I can pause and take breaks, because you see some of these are close to an hour long. So again, really long. And if you're working through the practice problems, you're talking about an hour and a half to an hour and a half per video for a lot of you. So just keep that in mind and really think about what's going to work best for you. As you're watching this video, maybe, fast forwarding through some of it. But if you've got time, I think they're the best way probably to review. I will tell you, if we go to Google Classroom, and I'm going to go up here to Unit 1, the YouTube video, one of the things that I did is I put a link to both. So for Unit 1, there's a link to 1.1 through 1.4 and 1.5 to 1.8. But myself and a couple of other AP teachers, as we're watching the videos, we have been putting together this document that has all of the review questions that go with the YouTube videos. I thought this would be a great resource, and I jumped right in with a couple people on this because I thought it was really worth your time. So I'll tell you, I'm going to try to click on, see if I can click on that one. Oops. Oh, this is really slow. It's a big document. So it's arranged according to units. So I'm going to try to get down here to Unit 1. So here's 1.1 to 1.4. And so if you've been watching the videos, you'll recognize these questions are the questions that are in the video. So what we thought is that instead of having you write down the videos, it would be great to have this document that had all the questions in them. So as they're creating the videos, we're uploading the questions right to these documents. So you can feel free to print these off before you watch the video, and that way you can write the questions right in. I am keeping a running document here, so I think this goes maybe through unit 4. So just be aware that if you print this off, it covers several units. But in Google Classroom, I put it right in with the videos. And so I'll do this with every single unit. I'll put that entire document right in there. So I think it's the best review. It's just time. So speaking of time, another thing that you could use to review is Flynn Prep. So what I did in my Flynn Prep tab is I put which units or which topics go with Unit 1. So in Flynn Prep, topics 2 and topic 15 really go with Unit 1. And so what I asked you to do for review is look at one of the topics or both, and then take the quizzes and the practice unit exam at the end, and then take a screenshot of the final test score and attach it to the feedback form, which I'll talk about in a second. I also came across these review PowerPoints that another friend of mine is putting together with, along with all the units 1 through 7. Clicking through a PowerPoint is probably not my favorite way to review, but everything was there really kind of nice and concise, so I thought it might be something that you all could use. So down here at the bottom, I have Unit 1 at a glance. And Unit 1 at a glance is the document that has all of the different topics that are covered in Unit 1. So again, if you go through these units and you're looking at the topics, and let's say, you look at 1.1 and you're like, okay, moles and molar mass, I got that. Mass spectroscopy of elements, probably should go back and take a look at that. Photoelectron spectroscopy, probably should go back and look at that. This sort of checklist or unit list gives you a chance to really get a good feel for what you need to focus in on. So when you go and you're ready to tell me what you did to review for Unit 1, there is a feedback form. This feedback form is laid out in a way that allows you to either check off one of the videos that I've posted on Google Classroom, or tell me what you did to review for Unit 1. So again, I would go back and take a look at that unit at a glance, Unit 1 at a glance, look at what topics you need to look at. And so let's say you decide, you know what, I don't really get a lot out of watching videos, and I've done topic 2 and topic 15 for Flynn Prep. I want to do something different. Go back and look through your notes. Go back and work through some more FRQ problems. Go to the College Board website. Work through some of the FRQ problems or even multiple choice problems from Unit 1. Whatever you decide to do, it's up to you. I'm giving you 4 options and then letting you choose a different option if you want to. So if you do decide to use something else to review for Unit 1, I want to know what you did. Even if it's, I went back through my old notes, that's fine. Just tell me what you did if you chose something else. And then using your Unit 1 at a glance, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me whether those topics make sense to you, they're somewhat confusing, you don't know what the topic means, because then what I want to know is what are you going to do to go back and review those sections that you don't know? And I want you to email me if you need help with that. And last but not least, I want you to add a file, some sort of document that tells me what you did. So if you watch the AP videos, and let's say you print off those sheets that have all the questions on them, go ahead and take a picture PDF of those sheets and upload it here. If you decide to go back through your notes, take a picture PDF and upload that here. If you do Flynn Prep, take maybe a screenshot of something that you did or your final test score. And that's pretty much it. Every unit is going to have a feedback form. That feedback form is going to count as your quiz grade. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, email me and let me know. But that's it. Every unit's going to be organized that way. Unit 1 through 7. I have Unit 1 and Unit 2 done. I'm tweaking things as I come across issues, but for the most part, that's how the units are going to be organized. So this is going to be a self-paced, review. So remaining quizzes 24 through 30. are the feedback forms. So quiz number 4 is the feedback form for Unit 1. Quiz number 25 is the feedback form for Unit number 2. You must have something to upload, either questions from the videos, screenshot of test scores, screenshot of something else you're doing, your notes written out. At a minimum, because I know time is going to be an issue for some of you, and I'm not going to ask you to do above and beyond what you're able to do. So at a minimum, I want you to do at least one form of review for each unit. Do what you can do. Don't overdo it. Use what you need. And I want at least one form of review focused on each unit 1 through 7. Due dates are flexible. I'm giving you some guidelines for due dates. Obviously, it needs to be done before you take the AP exam, but communicate with me, and most of you have been really good at doing that, if you fall too far behind. And don't feel like you have to do all the videos. Do what you can do and fit them in when you can. Again, time is precious. All of you pretty much responded saying that you wanted to get a 3, 4, or a 5 on the AP exam. My goal is to help you get that score. All right, next, let's see. We'll sum this up so we can end this. Make a plan. There are 7 units and I believe 9 meeting days. Don't procrastinate. Write down your plan, stick to it, be purposeful, keep your eyes on the prize for the next 5 weeks. You can do this. Communicate with your classmates and with me. So maybe find another person in the class where you can sort of plan out how you want to cover these units and help each other stick to it. So maybe come up with a plan with a friend. I think that's a good way to do it. All right. Last but not least, I am going to leave you with this. I want you to read through it. I want you to reflect on it a little bit and contact me if you have any questions about how this self-paced review is going to work.